Shalom, shalom. I'm going to start out this video by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushua, Bahasham, Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and the elder bishops, a great millstone that rule well, they teach well. Where I learn this truth 100% according to the Bible. Also want to say shalom to the elect, the 144,000 men, prophets, servants, scattered abroad the four corners of the earth, and shalom to the Akwaf, which are you sisters that are sincere and your children, shalom. And then today's video is going to be building off of this video from the brother, the Hopeful Elect 3. In this video, which he posted, where you got this woman talking about, basically how all hell is about to break loose here soon in America, man. And that is exactly what's about to come, man. The men of the Lord, starting with the apostles and the elder bishops and the brothers on down teaching the same doctrine, have been warning you people, man, mainly you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, ultimately about how serious times are about to get here in this country, America, man. And everybody is starting to see it. And, it's about to happen. So I'm going to get into this video. We're going to listen to what it is she's saying. So I'm going to say fair use on the 1976 Copyright Act. Not getting paid for this video. This is only for educational purposes only.
We are going to see a huge increase in psychotic breaks and violent crime in the next 3 years. People were already at their breaking points coming into this year, and the stress keeps piling on, and it's nowhere near stopping. Trump's...
Right? And you hear what it is that she said, and I'm going to allow the rest of the video to play, but, she basically said that, people are at their mental breaking point, and we know all of these things are going according to prophecy, because, the Lord actually said that in the last days that, in St. Matthew 24:12, it said that because iniquity shall abound, right? Meaning sin upon sin, the love of many shall wax cold. And that's what we're ultimately seeing happening here in this society here in America, man, that a lot of these people are just psychotic, man, and crazy already due to the sin and all of the wickedness that's occurring in this country, right along with everything else that's happening with the economy and everything else that's affecting this place. People are about ready to just, bug out, man. And we know with that big, beautiful bill that, Donald Trump just passed, that's going to make things worse. With him getting ready to cut off these benefits and all of these different types of things that people receive, things are about to get more worse out here than it already is, So, the stage is being set for chaos to come to this place, America, man. And ultimately, we know Yahweh Shem Yahushua is the one that's ultimately going to bring forth these evils, man. This is all part of the signs of the times, right? And I'm going to get this precept right here. This is 2 Timothy chapter 3. And I'm going to start at verse 1, right? It said, "This know also that in the last days perilous times shall come." You go into that word perilous, it means times full of chaos, man, or uncertainty, fear. These are the times and seasons that the Lord is about to allow to manifest here in this country, America, man. Because people are going to lose it very soon, man. You already can see people now, they're on the edge. They're bugged out. People don't know what to do. People are stressed. They're frustrated. People getting laid off from all of these jobs and businesses. People can't support their families financially because they're not getting the jobs. People are not getting paid as they used to. Everything in this American economy is just going down the drain, man. And a lot of people can feel that, and they seeing it. And it's only getting worse and worse. So that's going to result in a lot of chaos. That's going to result in a lot of mayhem, a lot of civil unrest. All of these things are going to come to this place, America, man, in the very near future, man. And the stage is already being set for that, right along with you got Donald Trump, Nero, opening up all of these different prisons throughout the U.S., saying that he's going to come after the Southern Kingdom next, which we know he is, because that's going to go into the time of Jacob's trouble. So, the stage is set, man. Chaos is about to come to this place, America, man, like never before, man. And if you don't got the Lord with you, man, then, you're not going to make it. No better way to put it. So I'm actually go to that as well, right? This is St. Matthew chapter 24. And I'm going to read verse 21 in the KJV. It says, "For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be." So we living in a time now where things are about to get way worse. People looking at everything that's happening in this society now, with the jobs closing down, people getting laid off left and right. They look at things like that and think it's already worse. What can be worse than this, right? That's what a lot of these people mindset is at. But they just don't know the evils that the Lord is ultimately about to bring upon this place, man. It's going to get way worse than what they're seeing now, man. This stuff is only the tip of the iceberg, man. As it tells you in St. Matthew 24:8, how all these are the beginning of sorrows, man. So the Lord, we're just seeing the beginning stage of all of the evils that's about to come upon this place, America, man. It's going to get way worse in the very near future, and I'm actually get this precept right here as well, because this is the time and season that we're stepping into, man. 2nd Ezra chapter 15 and 2nd Ezra chapter 16, we're living in a time where all of those prophecies that the prophet Ezra saw during his time are about to manifest, man. It said that those events will take place in the latter days. And that's the time and season that we're in now, man. So that's why it's only going to get worse and worse, man. As it tells you in Second Ezra 14 and 16, for yet greater evils, right? Meaning bad times than those which thou hast seen done hereafter. So we're coming into some times where things are going to get only, more worse and worse, right? And as all goes back to, ultimately how Bashim Yahushua bringing forth his judgment upon his world, man. And mainly this wicked place, America, Babylon the Great. This place is going to get it the worst, man, when the Lord really start cranking up those judgments. Right? So I'm going to start in here. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 15. And I'm going to start at verse 5. It said, behold, saith the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, I will bring plagues upon the world, right? And that world is talking about the entire world, but mainly in this place, Babylon. This place is going to get it the worst out of all of these other places, right? It said the sword, right? That goes into chaos, that goes into violence, that goes into people fighting up against each other. The Lord said that he will do that. That's Isaiah 19:2. I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians. That's talking about these modern day Babylonians, these people here in America, man. All of these people in the very near future are about to be fighting against each other. You're about to have all type of civil unrest and mayhem happening in this country, man. Right? And it says famine, right? You're going to have food shortages. You're going to have all types of different things taking place all at one time, man. These things are going to be happening at once. It won't be no, back-to-back period. No, these things are going to be occurring in one time. That's why the Lord said it's going to be a time like no other, man, because all of these things are going to be happening at one time. People not going to have food. They're not going to have money. They're not going to have power. They're not going to have anywhere to sleep. All of this stuff is going to happen, man, and this is what's coming to this place, right? It said death, right? And destruction, man, right? And this is the reason why these events are going to take place. The Lord is going to bring these plagues. It says, for wickedness, right, have exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled, man. So it all goes back to ultimately the wickedness of the people, man, right? That's why the Lord is ultimately going to plague this place, mainly this place, America, man, because we know that this place is the headquarter of wickedness in the world, man. So Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, he's going to bring more evil upon this place than any other region in the world, man. This place is going to get it the worst, man. And that's what we're warning you people about, mainly you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, man, because this time is coming. And we're already seeing it, manifest in front of our eyes, right? But it's only going to get worse, like we're telling you people, And this is verse 7. It said, therefore saith the Lord. In verse 8, it says, I will hold my tongue no more touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit, right? Neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and the righteous blood cried unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually, right? And that's talking about mainly the Lord's elect, man. It tells you about that in Ezekiel chapter 9, about those men that sigh and cry. And I'm actually go to that through the Spirit, right? This is Ezekiel chapter 9, and I'm going to start at verse 3, right? And it says, and the glory of the power of Israel was gone up from the cherub, whereupon he was to the threshold of the house. And he called to the man clothed with linen, which had the writer's inkhorn by his side, right? Verse 4. And the Lord said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, which is a people before is a place, and set a mark, right, upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. And that's what Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua is getting ready to do, man. He's setting that mark right now as we're speaking through the word that's going out through his elect. They're being sealed, man, with that mark of exemption, which in the Hebrew goes to Thawa, right, which means to be exempt from the judgment that the Lord is ultimately about to bring upon this place, America, man, in the world. Right. This is verse 5. It says, and to the others, he said in mine hearing, go ye after him through the city and smite, which means to delete, mean to kill, man. Let not your eyes spare, neither have ye pity. Right. Verse 6, slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children and women, but come not near any man, right, upon whom is the mark, and begin at my sanctuary. Then they begin at the ancient men which were before the house. Right. So this is the time of season that we're in, man, where the Lord is about to bring unstoppable amount of judgment, man. And if you're not one of those men or those women, right, or the elect that is not, sealed and protected, hey, it's going to be very ugly out here for you people, man, in the very near future. Like I said, there's going to be troubles coming from all sides, man. Things that people never experienced or seen with the naked eye are about to start manifesting, And I'm actually get back to where I left off at. 2nd Ezra chapter 15, verse 14, just going into the times and seasons in which it is that we're in and all of the things that are about to happen, man. It says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein. Woe meaning destruction, man, because that's what the Lord is ultimately about to bring to this place. It says, for the sword, right, and their destruction draw nigh, which means it's coming soon, And it says, and one people, right, shall stand up and fight against another and swords in their hands, right? That's talking about race wars, class wars, civil wars, gender wars, people being divided against each other, right? And we already see that happening now in this country, America. None of these people are close. None of these people care about each other. All of these people are proud. All of these people are high-minded, believe that they don't need anybody. That's the mindset of these people in this country. So when all hell actually begins to break loose, it's going to be horrible out here, man. These people are going to be doing all types of things to one another that people can't even comprehend, man. It's going to get that bad out here, man. Right? And it says, and swords in their hands, right? Which is talking about, guns, man. That's what majority of these Americans are in possession of, firearms. So you're going to have a lot of violence happening in the very near future in this place, man. And a lot of people know it's coming, man. And this is verse 16. It said, for there should be sedition among men, and invading one another, they shall not regard their kings nor princes. And of course, her actions shall stand in their power. And we already can see it's about to be sedition among men in this country very shortly. Look at what Trump is doing, how he's coming after the Northern Kingdom, man, with the whole ICE and the deportation things that they're doing. Now he's finna come after the so-called Haitians, right, which is coming after the Southern Kingdom, So, I mean, hey, there's going to be sedition among men, man. You're going to have people fighting against the government and all of that different type of stuff. All of these things are going to happen, man. And Yahweh Shem Yahushua is ultimately the one that's bringing it, man, the Heavenly Father, who the world ignorantly calls God. He's the one that's going to allow these evils to manifest upon this earth, man. And I'm actually go to verse 17. It said, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. And the reason you won't be able to move around in the city to city is because it's just going to be that chaotic, man. It tells you about that in the book of Amos, chapter 5, verse 19. Is if a man did flee from a lion, right, and a bear met him, and he leaned his hand upon the wall, and the serpent bit him, man. That's just going to be how the judgment from the Lord is going to be coming from all sides, especially if you're not of his elect, man, that you're ultimately not going to be protected from these things, man. It's going to be nowhere to run, So it says, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. And that's also going to be due to martial law, man. Why you think you got all of these, you got Donald Trump keep on sending out these military soldiers to these different places. You got him just sent 200 soldiers to the Alligator Alcatraz, the little detention center he just set up. Then you had them not too long ago, in Cali when all of those protests and things of that nature was occurring out there, right? They sent 700 Marine soldiers. So, I mean, they're already programming people's minds to see the military, because very soon in the near future, when all hell really does break loose, right, these are going to be who they're going to be allowing to barricade these cities and lock everything off, and martial law taking place and people not being able to ultimately to move around freely and things of that nature, right? This is the time that we're coming into, right? And this is verse 18. It said, for because of their pride, right? A lot of people in this place, America, is proud, man, especially you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American Indians, you 2/3 of our people, both men and women, and these other heathen nations, man. All of these people in this country, America, are just full of pride, man. And that's why the Lord is about to bring these miseries upon these people, man. Right? It said, for because of their pride, the cities shall be troubled, right? The houses shall be destroyed, right? And men shall be afraid, man. Right? So we know men are going to be afraid. How much more the weaker vessel, meaning you women. So, I mean, it's just going to be trouble coming from all sides, man, coming from everywhere, And if ultimately you don't have a covering of the Lord, then you're going to be pretty much damned, man. It's going to be over for you. Nothing better to say than that, right? But I'm going to actually get back into the video, but this is the time and season that we're living in, brothers and sisters, and that's why it's important for us, hopeful elect brothers and sisters, to, to be seeking the Lord now more than ever, man, trying to get right with the Lord as much as we can, because we know that these times and seasons are about to come, man. We know that it's about to get worse out here in this place, America, man. Right along with what I went into earlier, talking about that big, beautiful bill with Trump, that's going to make a lot of more people more poor and more financially unstable than they already are, man. So like I said, everything in this country is being set for chaos to take place, man. And it's ultimately the Lord that's setting it up, man. He's bringing the evil. He's bringing the judgment. He's bringing the chaos. He's bringing all of the calamities and all of these different things that these people are about to find themselves in, man. The Lord doing it, So, yeah, I'm going to get back into this video. Bear with me. Salakia.
Trump's budget bill is going to drive people to snap. And people have every right to snap. A lot of people have never known a single day of financial stability in their entire lives. They don't have access to jobs that can get them there. They have no way out of the day-to-day fear and hell that they're living in. And it's only going to get worse. Now pile on thousands and thousands of dollars worth of medical debt.
You heard what it is she just said, and that's what's going to happen, because a lot of these people, they got a lot of time, energy, and, their whole focus is stored up in this place, America, man. But little do they know that this whole place is about to come down in front of their face like a ton of bricks, man. And these people are not prepared for that spiritually, man. These people are not prepared to depart and to leave this world behind, man. Because they're already glued to this place, man. That's why Yahweh Bashim Yahushua said through the prophet John, in 1 John 2:15, to love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If a man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. And it tells us in verse 16, that the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes, all of those things are going to perish. But he that doeth the will of the Lord abideth forever, roughly paraphrasing it. So we know ultimately, man, hey, it's going to get very serious out here, man. And if you don't have, the Lord with you, then, hey, you're going to be pretty much, you're going to be through, man. No better way than to say it than that. You're going to be done. Right. So I'm going to actually get back into this. I'm going to get this precept real quick that I got because, this is the time of season that we're in, man. This is Second Esdras. And I'm going to go to chapter 16. Right. Because this is what you're going to see the result out of all of these things, civil unrest, calamities, chaos, fear, pandemonium, distress, people being in an uproar, people not knowing what to do. These are the times and seasons that we're coming into, man. So that's why we constantly bring out these same scriptures, man, to get it glued in you brothers and sisters' minds of, just the time that we're in, man, and what's about to take place. So this is 2 Esdras 16 and verse 17. It says, woe is me, who would deliver me in those days, right? This is what the prophet Esdras was saying. He was talking about the times that we're coming into now that we're in, about how bad it was. He seen it through the visions that the Lord gave him. And he saw just how bad things really got out here in America, man. And he said, woe is me, who would deliver me in those days? Because it's going to be that bad, man, that, hey, if you don't have the Lord with you, man, I'm telling you, you're going to be done out here, man. And a lot of people, they laugh and they talk shit and they do all of this now. But when they actually find themselves in these situations that's about to come, it ain't going to be funny, man. That's why it tells you in 2 Esdras 8 and 50, for many great miseries shall be done unto them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world because they have walked in great pride, man. A lot of these people, pride is about to get them judged miserably, man, about to get them in some situations where they're not going to be able to get out of them, man. And that's for the 2/3 of our people, So it says, verse 18, the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginnings of famine and great death, man. Because, hey, once this system collapses and these people don't have all of the stuff that they ultimately have now to entertain them, their social media, their internet, their Wi-Fi, their Facebook, and all of this madness, right? These people going to bug out, man, right? When this devil hits this grid, which he's going to do very soon, because we know in order for that MOTBC hip to be implemented, they got to do away with this current caste system that these people are subscribed to. That's going to be done away with soon, right? And these people ain't going to know what the hell to do, man. That's why it's going to be so much chaos, man. Right. And it says the beginning of wars. Right. And the powers shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? Right. And what we're going to do, Yahweh Ratazah, we be of the Lord's elect, us brothers and sisters of the hopeful elect. We're going to have all of our faith and trust in the Lord, man, hoping that he can get us through these times that we know are coming, because we know that it's going to happen, man. Right. And that's why we're preparing ourselves now, through the spirit, man, to get right and to prepare our minds and our spirits for this day that we know that we're about to come into, because we know how bad it's about to get, man. And we actually just pray and hope the Lord have mercy upon us in these situations that are about to occur. And I'm going to actually go to that precept, right? This is Habakkuk chapter 3. And I'm going to start at verse 2 in the KJV, and it says, O Lord, I have heard thy speech and was afraid. Right. And this is what the men of the Lord and the hopeful elect ladies are doing in this time, man. We're in fear, man, because we know ultimately how Bashim Yahushua is about to unleash judgment upon this place, America. And we ultimately don't want to get caught in the midst of it, man, because we know it's coming. Right. We know Esau is about to come down like a madman, sparing none. We know this devil only got a short time to rule, and he's about to come with that great wrath, man. You know, that's why you see Donald Trump ultimately keep putting these laws and all these different things in place. And everything that he's setting up is mainly affecting you Israelites, man. Right? Because this man is about to show you people just amount of, hate that he has towards you, man. And the Lord is going to allow him to do it, mainly upon the wicked of our people, man. But it says, "O Lord, revive thy work in the midst of the years. In the midst of the years, make known, and wrath remember mercy," man. And that's what we pray that Yahweh Shem Yahushua ultimately has upon us when this stuff does take place, that he has mercy upon us, that he, keeps us covered and protected, man, from these evil that's about to come. Because, a lot of people, man, they about to get caught up in the midst of these judgments, man, that the Lord is about to bring. And, it ain't going to be, nothing to deliver you out of that, man. If you're not of the Lord's elect, you're not going to make it. So I'm going to get back into this video.
On thousands and thousands of dollars worth of medical debt, a failing job market, cost of living prices that are going up every single day. He's about to start another round of tariff negotiations this week. And on top of that, constant freakish storms because of the climate. And I forgot to mention extreme amounts of societal and political unrest. I predict that we're going to see a very extreme increase in violent crimes. It just makes me sick to my stomach knowing that it doesn't have to be this way at all.
No, see, it does have to be this way because a lot of people don't know prophecy. And a lot of people don't understand that the Lord is the one that's bringing these evils, man. Like I said earlier in 2 Ezra 15:6, for the wickedness that has polluted the whole earth, man. That's why the Lord is about to judge this place. And also we're coming to the end of Esau, Edom, the so-called white man being in power, man. And the Lord, Yahweh, is getting ready to send back his son, Yahushua, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. So everything in which it is that we see happening is all being designed by the Lord, man. So that's why we see these things ultimately occurring, and I'm actually go to a precept just proving that. This is Isaiah chapter 46. All right. And I'm going to start at verse 9, right? But the point is at verse 10. It said, "Remember the former things of old, for I am Yahweh, and there is none else. I am the Most High, and there is none like me." Verse 10, "Declaring the end from the beginning, and from ancient times the things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure," man. So ultimately, everything in which it is that we see occurring in this place, America and the world, is all the counsel of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. And is ultimately going to be brought forth. As the Lord has said, he's going to do his pleasure, man. Everything in which it is that the men of the Lord have spoken unto you people and ultimately told you that were going to take place in these times that we're in, they're going to happen, man. And I'm actually go to another precept just touching on that. This is Isaiah chapter 55, and I'm going to start at verse 11. And it says, "So shall my word, right, be that goeth forth out of my mouth," right? And who is the Lord mouthpiece? The prophets, the men that he have set up in these times, starting with the apostles and the elder bishops and the brothers teaching the same doctrine, warning you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians of the times and seasons that we're in, right? So he's warning you. And it said, "It shall not return unto me void," meaning empty. "It shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the thing whereto I sent it." So ultimately, we know everything in which it is that the Lord has spoken through the servants, the prophets, and that is written in these scriptures are going to happen, man. No matter if people don't want to believe it, no matter if people don't accept it, no matter how people feel, whatever the case may be, man, it ain't about people's emotions. And that's what a lot of you people are about to realize very soon, that it ain't about your feelings. It ain't about how you feel. It ain't about how you think, whatever. The Lord is about to bring judgment, man. And you want to be on the right side with the Lord ultimately so you can possibly escape it. Lord's will being of his elect, for you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indian men and women out there, man. Like I said, this is the time to really be seeking the Lord, man. Because, hey, you're not going to be spared in these times that are to come if you don't have that protection, man. Right? So I'm going to actually go to that precept. This is Proverbs chapter 18, and I'm going to start at verse 10. In the KJV, it says, "The name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous runneth into it and is safe." And this is what us hopeful elect brothers and sisters are going to do when these hellish times begin to manifest in this place, America, man. We're going to put all our trust in the names of Yahweh Shem Yahushua and hope that the word Lord can ultimately, deliver us and bring us through these evils in these times that are coming, man, because we know it's coming, But yeah, that's pretty much everything I had to say with today's video. Lord's willing, I pray it be edifying to you brothers and sisters that may come across it. With that being said, until the next time, I'm going to say shalom to the elect.